Since the Battlefield 6 firing range is kind of garbage, I wanted to make my own to do exactly what I wanted to be able to do. Cool thing about this is you can spawn in vehicles. And like, for example, I like to have my little golf cart to run around. Go from place to place. We'll start with the coolest thing, I think, which is right here. If you come over to this computer, interact, it'll send this guy off, and then it'll do this. It'll pop a bot into the chopper, and he won't just fly up, he'll fly away. Because I wanted to be able to test things that only work against aircraft. Because not everything you can use against aircraft or vehicles and vice versa. So, it was difficult to do this. However, got it working. Next up is my tank range. So, it does something similar. Spawns in a tank. Bot jumps in, drives off. And again, this is because certain gadgets only work with moving vehicles, whether they be ground vehicles or with flying stuff. An example being with the mines. You can't just go up and throw them on the tank and expect them to go off. So the solution was to do this. That way it'll actually blow up. So let me reset. All I did was spawn in a attack chopper. It's exploding right now. And reset the mines. That way when the tank spawns in, it'll run the mines and set them off. Okay, didn't do for that first one, but it did for the second one. So that means if the tank spawns on top of it, it's not going to go off. The one he did run over exploded. And that's what we want. Next up is the long range firing range, which I've done in another video, but this is a lot cleaner. I put out signs to tell you how far they are away. Put a concrete wall right here, put a sniper case, try to make it more obvious. Guy's 500 meters away. There we go. All right. There's that. And next up is the shorter firing range to use for spread and other things. All right, here's the shorter firing range. That way you can test out bullet spread. For this first one, I've got a couple little markers. So like for this one, we can say, all right, this is what it is standing up. Okay, this is 10 meters. And let's see if it's a little better crouched. And not really. I think I might have accidentally accounted for some of that though. Anyways, but yeah, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Of course, you got to move over to be lined up with it for it to actually be 50. Okay, there you go. All right. It's the short range one. Next up, my explosives range. So a lot of items that are exploding can be a little, we'll say, unpredictable. Okay, so like for a long time, I thought that the anti-tank grenade, anti-vehicle grenade, didn't do damage to people. However, it does. And it also does a one-shot if you hit somebody with it. So it functions as an impact grenade against infantry. Wow. Also here is how I determine the distance. So like, all right, 5 meters, right there. Does nothing. Okay, let's move until it's 4. Little marker down. Suppression, a little closer. No damage still. And then we get some damage. It goes from 71. And of course, kill them all the way. It's really fun to be able to spawn in different vehicles. Like now that we can spawn in the little bird. Kind of give you an overview of everything, quite literally. And test out different loadouts and everything. However, since this is the sandbox multiplayer experience level, you will not be able to see different spawn points and spawn different vehicles. So that is why, a part of the debug menu, cleanup vehicles will just blow up vehicles that are unoccupied. You also have a static and a dynamic logger. Has some debug stuff in there, so if you notice something's going wrong, pull that up. And of course, all the bots, as soon as you kill them, they respawn. And that is my test range.